Hello YouTube, how are you today? Here we go for a new episode of the podcast again. And so if you don't know the channel, actually I ask people who live in Vietnam or whatever in Asia, but actually currently is in Vietnam. And today I'm with, please, can you introduce yourself?
Monique. Do I have to say my surname?
What, do you have French name though?
Yeah, Monique.
Monique.
French.
But where do you come from? France?
No, South Africa.
South Africa.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And did you have some job experience over there? Like before you leave?
Yes, I worked in corporate for 7 years before I decided to leave in COVID time to come to Vietnam.
7 years in what, sir?
In corporate. So like corporate, like industry, so doing marketing, sales.
Okay. In the office, right? Office job.
Yes. And office job, 9 to 5, yes. Or 8 to 5.
8 to 5, okay. We are in Vietnam right now. Mm-hmm. And I think people right now, the audience is really interesting about come here in Vietnam, and especially when you come from foreign country. So how the F that happened, like why Vietnam and what do you do here to survive? Like what was the move? Why did you choose Vietnam?
Yeah, it's a good question. So because I worked in the corporate industry in South Africa, the market that I worked in was events and hospitality. And around COVID time, a lot of that type of establishments had to close down for COVID. So you weren't allowed to go to work. I was sitting at home and I was helping out around in the local spaces at home. There's some parents that still had to go to their job, but because all the schools closed, the kids didn't really have anyone to look after them. So what I did is I looked after the kids in that time. But it's not really, when you go from a corporate career to looking after kids, it's a bit tough because I also like the drive of corporate. I like to learn. I like challenges. And I decided to then just come. My friend at the time was actually working in Vietnam at a school. And he said to me, well, I can get you into the school. Because at that time, if you don't have a contact or someone that you really know, it is quite difficult in COVID to come overseas because the planes are strict. They don't have flights. So because of that friend, I was like, I didn't look into Vietnam specifically, but if I have a contact and it can get me out of my country in COVID to do something more exciting, then why not? So to be honest, I did not Google Vietnam.
Wow. And that was like kind of paperwork from your South Africa to Vietnam though, because you have to catch the flight during COVID. That was like some paperwork to do, and you came here as a teacher.
It was very strict. We had a private plane. We had to dress up in like these blue covered suits. Cover your shoes, cover your face. Very strict regulations. And once I arrived in Vietnam on the private plane, cost me a lot of money also to get here at first. They put you in a room to quarantine for 2 weeks. So I was locked up in a hotel room for 2 weeks in Hanoi before I was allowed to go out. Yeah.
So your priority was to escape South Africa. Why?
Yeah, because my whole life I've always wanted to travel. It's always been something I wanted to do. But because I was striving to have a corporate career, at the time I was busy establishing my career. And at the same time I want to travel. So at that time, online work was also not really a big thing. So it's like career or travel, like what do you do? And then I came to Vietnam and I taught English. So that's how I got here, obviously. And I think I did it for a few months and I realized again, I need more. So that's when I met someone that taught me the crypto industry. And he was a developer at the time. He built games, he worked in the blockchain. And I was very admired by that, having a passion for technology as well. He showed me a lot of the things that he was doing. And I was like, I'm really interested. He probably thought I was just trying to be nice, being interested, but I was really interested. And then eventually I met his friends and I got introduced to a community that works in crypto and that does it daily and just hanging out with people in that sector. And then eventually, I learned from them. I taught myself, and the one guy approached me and he said, wouldn't you want to use your corporate skills that you developed in South Africa to try and work for us in crypto? Like it stays corporate, whatever, but adapt it and try and do that in crypto.
I know you do a really good job, and I know that you're an ambitious person, and we're gonna talk about that after. But I just want to come back a bit on when you came here in Vietnam as a teacher. Do you remember if your salary was great when you was teacher? Because in the previous episode, if you don't like, you can go to the previous episode with a colleague. Like she earned for 15 hours a week. I believe she earned like around 40 million. So do you remember what was your salary as a teacher when you came?
Yeah, I think I clocked about 25, maybe 30 hours, depending, because you get some extra classes you can do. But I think around 25 hours to 30 if you're on a contract with the school. Then I got about 60 million. If you're lucky.
Really?
Yeah.
So
you can get much more depending on how many hours they offer you. Because remember, I think she was, I did watch the podcast, and I think she was teaching in Da Nang, right?
Yeah, and 15 hours only.
Exactly. So the difference is when you teach in Da Nang, you get paid less. So I was teaching in Hanoi at the time.
Okay.
And Hanoi does pay more than Da Nang. Like you'll maybe get 300 VND or to 400 VND an hour in Da Nang if you're lucky. But in Vietnam, in Hanoi, they pay as much as 550 to 600.
Which is really good, right?
Yeah, that's why so many people teach in Hanoi.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, different question, but do you prefer to leave Hanoi or Da Nang, and why?
That's such an easy question, actually. Definitely Da Nang. Because, right? If you can, this is a tricky one. So this goes back to me teaching myself crypto and blockchain, because I realized that if I want to move around and do the travel life, I can't have a fixed teaching job in a country because I will never leave. Like I'll always be fixed in a place. So I made a lot of hard work of getting this online career while I was doing my teaching. So I was kind of running 2 jobs at the time to educate myself. And the main goal was to leave teaching in, let's say, 2 years when I've got a career in crypto, move to Da Nang so I can get out of Hanoi. The reason for that is that Hanoi is extremely polluted. It's polluted is even putting it lightly. It's just not okay. It's so dirty. You can make it work, but I've been there for 2 years and I think it was enough. And growing up in Cape Town by the beach, it's really tough to have that city life. No fresh air, no beach. So yeah, it was the main goal. And 2 years later, here I'm sitting and I'm finally in Da Nang with the online job. And yeah, I'm loving it. It's definitely one of the best places in Vietnam, I think, that you can live.
And the place where you come from play a big role to that, like because you come from a beach city, right? And here is a beach city as well. Because some people grew up in Hanoi or this kind of city, like I grew up in Paris a bit, and it's so much polluted. But people, it's almost like they are not consciousness about that because they always were in polluted area, and they don't even like when I came here for the first time.
Better. Yeah.
When I came here in Da Nang for the first time, that was like a few months ago, and I was during the smoky season, and I was like, "Wow, guys, it is like this all the time. Like it's air is polluted like this." And I don't know. It's not polluted. I was like, "What the fuck? Yeah, look, the sky is polluted. We don't even see the stars during the night." And
exactly.
But then after 2 months, like the smoky season was over, and now we breathe and there is a fresh air and everything's good. And Da Nang is perfect. Like I think it's quite better for a person like us, at least.
Definitely.
Right?
And I think when you say smoky season, what month was that?
That was like May. I came here in April and May.
Yeah, that makes sense because they have a tradition in certain parts of the year. I'm not too sure of the dates, but they burn paper as offering. So you will see people burning a lot of things in the street all the time. And that's part of their religion or part of their tradition. So I get that. I respect that. If that's what you need to do. But sometimes I feel that if you are physically damaging the environment, maybe it's better to adapt your religion or tradition. I don't know. But I don't agree with burning stuff just because you have to do it. I feel people really need to be, like you said, they're not conscious about it. And I'm looking, also again, remember, coming from Hanoi, seeing the worst part of pollution has made me really be angry towards it. Even if it is a tradition or a religion, I'm not okay with that because they don't just burn things that maybe, like even make paper that's maybe better for the environment and burn that. But they would burn plastic. They would unwrap gifts and they would take that plastic and they would burn it. And I'm just like, maybe just pick something better to burn. But yeah, so, and it's a hard one again, because I said it's a traditional thing. So
Do you know
that's
why
definitely why.
Because pollution comes from also trees, and they burn trees. I know mostly in Thailand. In Thailand is big, and then the smoke come here by air. But do you know why they burn trees? I don't remember why. Like they burn trees because like for insects or something.
It can be. I'm actually not sure about the tree burning subject, but it can also be because if it's specifically Da Nang, I can imagine that it's for the storms. So if you see what happened now with the Typhoon Day, so what happened in Vietnam, I mean in Hanoi right now with the storms is the trees were falling over on the cars, and I think they try and maybe analyze the environment to see where trees are good or bad.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
okay.
obviously we should never cut down or burn trees. I'm completely for that, but I'm also for the fact that some people maybe do it for a reason.
There is a reason, and
exactly.
I will check it out after our talk because there is a reason, but I don't remember right now.
Yeah.
So how many years you spent here in Vietnam? How long you been here in Vietnam in total?
So I lived in Hanoi for 2.5 years, and then I moved to Da Nang last year in November. So I've been in Da Nang for about almost a year and a half now. Oh, I mean 1 year, half a year to 1 year.
Okay.
So this year, November, it would be 1 year. Yeah.
1 year in Da Nang, but 3 years and a half in total in Vietnam.
In Vietnam, yeah.
Okay. And I know you really love your career right now. So do you have any tips for people who wanna like, maybe they are a teacher or they have a career? How can we find a job online? Because you was a teacher and you taught yourself during your job how to have a job online, which is the same for me. I teach myself how to get a job online. And do you have any tips for someone who want to make the transition from corporate job or whatever construction job to like be able to work online and be free to travel and live?
Yeah, I would say this is actually as difficult as it can feel or as frightening to some people to start that journey. There's no better way to start than today. And I would say if you're already in a job, it's even better to start like doing it on the side. We all love our free time, I get that. But if you want something more, you have to do it. Like you have to want to do it. And where that want part comes in is finding don't target, oh, I need to work online, I need a job. Target what is your hobby?
Oh, yeah.
What are you good at? What are your skills currently? Even if it's as stupid as I can draw the best picture, or if it is, oh, I'm so great at doing schedules on Excel spreadsheets, or I'm very good at, I've got a lot of knowledge about rescuing animals and I've got my own animal that's, like this. I've been speaking to a few of my friends and there's so many things that they talk about to me daily where they're passionate. Like one of my friends she reads 1 book a day. Like, wow. And then they popped up, and I'm really proud of 2 of my friends who's already learned from me and actually started doing their own thing. So she's been updating her LinkedIn. So the one that reads books, and she came across some AI jobs where you train AIs to have better like language. Yeah. So what she can do is use her reading knowledge and writing skills to actually help train AIs. And she would love doing that because besides reading, she loves writing too. She's actually busy writing her own book. Yeah. But she was doing it for herself. Yeah. That's fun. Yeah. And I'm like, you're already doing it. You've got the knowledge. You are super passionate. Like, why not do that while you're teaching? So now every day, because I call her often, and every day when I call her, she's at a coffee shop, busy doing her side thing. And that's how you do it. Like, and I think it would be more difficult if you try to do something for the purpose of doing it, but not for the purpose of because it's your passion. I love that. So you need, if it's a passion, you will succeed. Like everyone has a passion. There has to be a passion. So find your passion and tap into that.
I love that approach because let's imagine you want to be the best at what you do or you want to earn a living. If it's come from love and passion or at least like or love, you will be like, maybe it will take 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, but you will find success. And when I mean success is like just a progressive, like you make progress towards your ideal, right? So I really love your point of view and make something from love. And like, if you like it, like just start next to your job or maybe go all in that. Why not? It's 2 different schools over there. But like, I love that approach. And if you don't know your passion, what you think we have to experience, because I think like you didn't know crypto when you arrived here in Vietnam, and now you work full time in Web3 and crypto area.
Yeah.
So you think it's just luck, or you just have to experience everything in life until you find your passion? Or do you have kind of idea or how to find a passion? Because there's a lot of people, they want to work online, but they don't even know on what working, right? So
I think a lot of people, it's hard. Passion it's a difficult word. And I watch a lot of podcasts every single day as well, to also do some self-teaching about life and what's going on. And it's very critical for my job as well to be up to date with what's happening. But with that being said, like finding your passion can be weird when you haven't thought about it. So the best thing to do is go through your day and try and be very aware of things that you like and write them down. It can be such a stupid small thing and you don't even realize. And I think how I found my passion is the fact that I'm very hard ass. I don't give up. So I'm a very dedicated person. I always want to achieve things. That's just always been a part of my life. I think it's just a personality trait as well. But if you're someone who wants to still accomplish that and, you're still a little bit chill and whatever, I would say, follow the steps of trying to get your passion, thinking of what you like, and thinking also of your natural talents and skills that you've had since you were young.
Yeah.
And that is where crypto came in for me. So ever since I was young, I was a daddy's girl, love my dad. We share a lot of interests. He works in technology as well. And ever since I was young, we would always fight about who's opening the new laptop or who's getting the new phone or what phone is better. So I was kind of raised in that environment of tech with my dad.
Yeah.
And without me even realizing, I had so much more interest in it than what I knew. Okay. And then when I hanged out with these people in Hanoi doing crypto, I was like, I'm either trying to prove to them that I really like this or I do like this.
Yeah.
And once I took that job that they offered me and I started going into it, I realized that I would wake up in the morning and I would literally be so excited just to do it. That's when I realized, okay, cool. This is not a fake thing. It's not a maybe I like it. This is what I want to do.
Yeah, it's not to be pleased by people or it's not to please people. You do what you like and what you love and keep experimenting until you say a good point. It's like writing down things. And I want to add something also because you say you're watching podcasts and I think if you watching this video, you also watching podcasts and things like that. But
hopefully
take actions and be decisive is also a good point. Like because you maybe have a lot of theoretical stuff, like you watch podcasts and you have a lot of knowledge, right? But if you don't take action, you don't have this opportunity in crypto or whatever because it's a new thing, right? So you have to take action in whatever. And to come back on that was really good points. And to come back on Vietnam, so I want to tell a quick story right now because we're gonna talk about something I never talk on the video. But like when I meet this person, like I meet her in a co-work, right?
Yes.
And so when she arrived, I already knew she had a lot of energy. Like I see this person arrive and I told you, wow, this is massive energy in this person. Wow. So the days get by and we're just working chill. And I try to make it short. And then we going out to have a drink, right? And here in Vietnam, obviously, you have to ride a scooter to going out and get by yourself. You have to ride a scooter. And we decided to park the scooter like in a garage, and it's quite, the distance is quite long and it's quite steep.
Yeah, very steep.
And so Monique's going first with the scooter and with the motorbike, and I was just waiting upstairs to go behind her, and I heard a screaming like ah, and I thought she had fun in the descent. I was like, this person is crazy. She's just going in the descent and she had fun. But then I realized the scream was more like ah, like more fear screaming, and I was like, I just have the eyes on the distance, and so the brakes of the motorbike were broken, dead. So imagine you guys riding a motorbike going to the garage and the brakes are broken, you're 30 kilometers or something, and you have to rush into a motorbike or door or elevator, you will crash somewhere anywhere. And she did. she crashed into a doors or something.
Yeah, I had
motorbike,
to
whatever.
pick. It was the motorbikes or the door. And I remember lying there when I crashed into the door, looking up, and you're standing there looking at me.
So she was like lying down on the floor
I'm
and
like,
crying.
go home. This is not going to be a good night.
Everything is fine. You're fine. Yeah, no, it's fine. And so it's ending up like she breaks the
I
hand.
broke my whole bone here.
It broke the whole bone here. And so can you inform us on the experience you had in hospital here in Vietnam? Like, did they take care of you? Is it expensive? The doctors are nice. Did they speak English, or is it a nice place to be in hospital here in Vietnam? I don't even know myself. Like, do you have an insurance?
I've got. Well, I mean, insurance with the TRC because I'm still on the working visa with the school at that time. And the thing is, like, they give you insurance with the work permit because it's a standard, but it doesn't cover much. Like, it covers like 20% of your fees. And I wouldn't say it's expensive. I mean, it's much more expensive maybe in a different country. Let's say you go to Europe hospital. I mean, obviously it's going to be more. So I wouldn't say the money is the problem. I think the fact that you are not working with fully native English doctors, that's what got scary for me.
Oh, yeah?
So, but at the time you're in a place where you've broken your hand. I mean, there's nothing much you can do. You have to take what you get. And I wouldn't say they were bad at all. Yes, I got through it. They helped me. But I think just towards the end where they had to explain to me when the cast came off, I couldn't use my hand at all. Like, I've lost all feeling. So I had to rework. I had to do therapy for my hand.
Yeah.
And the only person who helped me through that was one of my best friends in the UK. She at the time also broke her leg. So she was going through therapy as well. And she just said to me, because she was working in Korea, so she knows about the Asian culture. And she said to me, listen, Monique, these doctors are not going to tell you what to do afterwards unless you obviously pay for a therapist. But I can tell you now, do your exercises daily, like work your hand. No. So thanks to my friend, I would say after my hospital experience, I had the best recovery because she gave me a lot of advice. But know that the doctors would not go into detail with you.
Oh,
they'll tell you to come back for an X-ray, but they'll never give you the detail that you need in English to look after yourself. They'll give you the basics, but you really have to be vigilant and be mindful of, cool, I wasn't the doctor, but let me do my own research as well, especially if it's in Vietnam. So if it's someone English, maybe not, you can have a conversation, but you can't have a conversation with them the way I would have with you or whatever, because they don't respond. Like, there's a translator, but minimal. It's not the best English.
And that's a massive point here. But everywhere in the world, you should be able to do your own research, because doctors have their own life. They have 8 hours a day they work, and then they want to take care of the wife and the children, and they have the patient also. And the doctors is human. So why you want to trust 100% someone? You have to do research on the side and don't take medication they told you. And like, maybe you have to, but I'm not a doctor, by the way, but you just have to do your own research. So that's a good point. Like, he didn't get with you on the recovery phases, right? He didn't pay attention much on what you do. Okay.
He just said to me that, because at the time I couldn't bend my finger, and he took it and he went further. And I'm like, no, stop. But he's just like, do, and he just showed me, do this. And I'm like, okay.
So they don't speak very good English, but do you speak a bit of Vietnamese here after 3 years here in Vietnam?
Yes, I do, basic. And I wouldn't say it's good, but...
You know some curse word, right? Okay, we don't gonna...
Are you gonna make me do this?
Nah, we don't gonna... I don't want to get censored by YouTube or whatever. But yeah, your Vietnamese, you didn't take any time to learn or to improve it, right?
I learned my Vietnamese from obviously teaching a little bit in the beginning, and then also talking to people. So when I would buy food or when I would go to the store and do some shopping, then I would always ask, oh, what is this in Vietnamese? Or what is that? And then I would build up my vocabulary, like knowing the numbers 1 to 10, or knowing I like, I don't like.
You did some TikToks with the numbers.
The number one. Yeah, I should have gone further, but Yeah, I didn't.
Can you sing Mo Thai Ba Bon Nam something?
I can say it quickly though. Mo thai ba bon nam sao by tam chin mui. And
It's
then moi
so
mot,
fast.
moi hai, moi ba, moi bon, moi nam, moi sao, moi bai, moi chin, moi bai, moi chin, moi tam. No, moi tam, moi chin, hai moi.
So you can much better than people who stayed here for a while. Like
Yeah.
learning through music and things you like is also a good way to learn a language.
And remember, in South Africa, we are. I think we're one of the we're the country with the most different languages, like over 27, or I don't even know how many. But we have so many.
Language.
And like when you come into primary school, I was like this small, and they teaching me 3 languages, like Xhosa, English, and Afrikaans, and I'm like. Okay, I thought it was normal until I came out of South Africa and I'm like, okay, so that was not normal. I was learning a lot of languages since a very young age. And I think maybe that's why I'm more prone to learn quicker.
Okay.
And also having different language like accents and yeah.
You speak Afrikaans, English, and bit of Vietnamese.
Yeah, a bit of Vietnamese and a bit of isiXhosa, which is an African language.
African language.
Yeah,
and
but
more.
very little. Like I don't remember much because I was very young when they taught me. Yeah.
Cool. And
never use it as well.
yeah, I understand. Okay, to be comfortable here in Da Nang, how much money do you have to get, you think? Because people have different view on that. So
I would say you can get away with like, okay, speaking dollars, you'd have a great life if you earn $2,000, but more is always better. I mean, I'm at a point where I want to earn much more to have the travel life and not just live in Da Nang. Like make it my middle point, live here, but travel out more because I work online. So I can do that now. So that's my goal, why I would want to earn more. But to live comfortably, I would say $2,000 or even less. Like that's a lot. Like you can even get away with 1,500.
I love this because probably a lot of people will be almost shocked on YouTube to hear 2,000 because then some people say on YouTube like 800 is enough.
$800?
Yeah.
Really?
But honestly, you could do that if you stay here and you don't go much in...
I was going to say, it depends on what you do.
Yeah, but if you want to travel a bit, and that's the point to live in Asia, I think in Vietnam you can travel in Thailand, in Philippines, whatever.
Yeah.
Here in Da Nang there is direct flight to Korea, to Taiwan. I love Taiwan, to Thailand, and if you want to travel a bit, like $2,000, I think is nice targets.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe a little bit more if you want to go fancy restaurant, if you want to ride a good motorbike, if you, yeah, 2,000. Yeah, interesting.
I think overall it's cheap. It depends on what you want to do because everyone's different.
Yeah.
You might have the person reading books every day. She don't even go out in the week. She maybe just enjoy a nice meal.
Yeah.
That's a different lifestyle. Then you get the person who wants to sightsee every week, or you know, it
buying
depends.
Clothes.
Exactly, it depends on the person. Yeah, buying clothes.
Depends the accommodation because you can have a house for 15 million, but also live in an apartment for 7 million. Yeah, okay, 2,000.
But overall, I mean, it's a no-brainer. Like living here is cheaper, and I think it's just been announced for the 4th time the cheapest country in the world to live in.
Oh yeah.
There was a post made about in this week that went viral. Vietnam has officially been named for the 4th year in a row.
Wow.
The cheapest country to live in the world.
Oh, if you could find this article, why not leave the link in a video?
I will.
And I will. I definitely think things gonna change here in Vietnam, and maybe it's gonna be more expensive because lifestyle of Vietnam is going up.
That's the thing. We shouldn't promote this.
Yeah.
We're living in a gym.
Yeah, exactly. Nah, that's
Don't come.
Thank you.
Don't come.
Actually, I think things are set up in the world for Vietnam increase everything. And you think about, you just talk about leaderboard, and there is also a leaderboard of happiness country. And I think Vietnam just jumped from 70th place to 50th place or something of happiness.
Oh, wow.
Like they just gained 20 places because they are they're hopeful. They have a lot of hope, and they have better life than before. Now they have digital, they have phones, they have foods, they have, like, especially when you talk with old people, they are super happy, right? And do you think Vietnamese, they are easy to get by? Like, are you're a blonde girl with blue eyes? Are they interested by you, especially in Hanoi, that were interested in?
Yeah, I mean, I get away with murder, I guess, being blonde. But it's not something I use like as a privilege or anything. For me, even though Like, I love seeing the reaction on their faces, not just because I'm a foreigner and they're surprised, but speaking their language, like, and actually contributing towards their community, and not just living here, you know, being like, oh, you know, I'm blonde, I'm a foreigner, I'm cool. No.
As a teacher, you know, you mean, yeah, contributing to the community.
Yeah, overall, as a teacher, and also just being that person going to a coffee shop and getting a coffee and having a conversation and trying to speak their language. I feel there's such small things you can do that makes you, the next time you go back, they're going to love you. Like, unless you're a person just going there, getting the coffee, walking out, you know, like, that's what I mean with contribute to the community. And then on top of that, obviously, I did the teaching, which obviously helped me a lot as well with getting to know the ways and whatever. But I think they really value foreigners that comes into the community, not just travel, be here, but they actually are part of them. So they love that.
That's the thing that make me love Vietnam so much. Like, half Vietnamese, they're gonna already smile, just look at you. And they also want, like, just maybe gonna be stoic because they work.
But some of them just want your money as well.
Yeah, probably. But I mean, we do the same.
Don't get me wrong.
Even in French, we do the same. If we see like foreigner, we're gonna try to charge them more and whatever. So I don't blame them. But if you speak a bit of Vietnamese and you are, even if you don't speak Vietnamese at all and you smile, 99% of people, they're gonna smile you back. Like, and it's a vibe. Here, people are warm. I love Vietnamese. I love Vietnam people.
And I think in Da Nang, they appreciate foreigners speaking Vietnamese even more because it's not as common as in Hanoi. Yeah. So in Hanoi, you get many more foreigners that speaks Vietnamese.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But not in Da Nang. So when I do it, like in Hanoi, I would daily do it and they wouldn't be surprised. Okay. But in Da Nang, they're surprised every time. Wow. Unless they obviously know me, but it's not common in Da Nang because remember, Da Nang has a lot more expats coming in and out. Yeah. So you don't get your local foreigners in Da Nang quite often speaking Vietnamese. Yeah. It's much less than in Hanoi.
Why there is many foreigners? They are more setting up in Hanoi. They stay to live there. Why? Because there is more teacher, or just there is some people that have corporate job as well.
Oh no, Hanoi you earn more. Like I said in the beginning. Yeah. You earn. That is the only reason. And I'm like, don't get me wrong. I want to earn money, but my entire life, and my parents kind of hated me for it because they always pushed me to succeed in my career and blah, blah. But I would always tell my mom, no money in the world is going to make me happy. Like, if I'm not happy and I'm earning money, then I don't want it. Like, I want to, that was with Hanoi. Yes, I've got all this more money, opportunity in Hanoi, maybe earning more, but I wasn't happy because it's polluted, it's dirty, I don't want to be in the city. So I was like, you know what, weigh your options. Like, if you can have an easy life in Da Nang and earn less, and that's what's going to make you happy, then money doesn't matter. Yeah. But what I did is I still wanted the money as well and the happiness. So I had to find a solution to have both. And that's what the online crypto job gave me.
Very nice. Yeah, you still need money. But I think a lot of people don't get it. But you can have... If you're not happy with $100,000, if you're not happy with 1 million because you want 10, if you're not happy with 10 because you want 50, you will never get happy with whatever money you have. Yeah. And it's the same with sex, it's the same with whatever. Like, it's much more than that. But it requires consciousness to talk about that. And you're a career pursuer, like you want a big career and you want to earn money, but you want also a good life. Yes. And there is also a Monique artistic side. Like, for example, you paint this, right?
Yes, not this one specifically. That was a gift, but this and this. And then there's obviously a lot of stuff on that side.
Yeah, this one is not really impressive compared to
not even the good ones, yeah.
Can you grab the most beautiful one around? Because we are in a Monique apartment right now, right? So she drew very well, and she's gonna pick something she did lately or something?
This is some of the like portrait ones I did as fun. So, and then this one I did at a workshop actually. There's a workshop Create in Da Nang where you can paint. So I did this with my mom. She came to visit in Da Nang and we
what's the name? What you paint over there?
A picture. Create is the shop's
name.
With
your mom? This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So she came with me to do a painting because she knows I love painting. And then this is just a scrapbook that I've accumulated with random like things that I draw. So this is like Japanese inspired.
Oh.
And then I've got a Chinese inspired one as well. Let me actually check where it is. Oh, there we go.
There is plenty.
So yeah, no, I mean, this whole book is full of, and tattoo art is also something that I really like to do. My friends always ask me to draw tattoos for them. Some fun stuff. Oh, who is this? Do you know?
Yeah, it's
yes. But yeah, so no, it's my hobby. I love art.
Yeah, and so you just say like you did this one with your mother, and what like to what your parents think about you when you move here in Vietnam? Did they why you move abroad, or why you don't want a career at home and do children's like
no, they understood because I mean I liked my corporate career in Cape Town, but I just always had this feeling it's not going to be what I really should do, or it's not going to be enough, or it's too saturated. Like there's too many people doing the same thing for you to be different. And I always strive. This is another thing, a big thing about me.
Yeah.
I don't want to do something anyone else is doing.
Yeah.
Like I want to be different. And I feel if you can find passion also in something different, then the money is already there.
Yeah.
Like, because if you do the same thing everyone else does, then you might not always get the same results. So
I love this. Instead of going for competition, you're going for creation.
Mm-hmm.
And there is almost more opportunities. There is more opportunities, especially nowadays, in creation. Why you will go for do the same as everyone and have so much competition? Yeah, there is money, but there is so much competition. Instead of you can just create your path.
And yeah, and you call it market segments. Like, let's say, what is this stupid one? Let's say you're a makeup artist. I mean, that's fine. If that's your passion and you're really good at it, that's fine. But have you ever considered using AI to create makeup things, or like it's called a market segment. So it's taking a segment in your passion or job or creativity that you can do and diving into that, because people think that, oh no, we can just do one video about that tomorrow. No, like you have no idea how much more you can make taking something that everyone does, but diving into a more unique topic within that.
So you talk about specialization in
not just doing makeup, but maybe specializing.
Niche yourself.
Yes, take a niche within. If it's something you're doing that you feel, oh, everyone's doing it, find a niche in it.
Or create your,
create a niche.
You or your niche.
Yes.
You could be your niche. Like, for example, what you do, there is not a lot of women who do that. And I love this, right?
Yes, and very true.
So that makes you unique in terms of content creation, because women are different than men in terms of thinking and emotion. So you write a lot and you speak a lot. So maybe you separate yourself from the other people who do the same in crypto area. Okay?
Yeah, it got lonely. I'm not gonna lie. But again, it's Monique. Like I wanted to do something different and unique. And I mean, it got tough and lonely in the sense of, even if you think I started 3 years ago, there was not a single video that's gonna teach you how to do marketing in crypto. Like it just doesn't exist. Like, but here I landed myself into. Like I always knew marketing because of my corporate career, which helped. Again, that's a good example. I know marketing, I can do sales, event management, but everyone can do that. So what did I do? I took that knowledge and I taught myself how to do that in a crypto industry.
Nice.
So I used what I knew and I kind of adapted it, but also finding the knowledge for that was really tough. Like, it took a long time to build up that knowledge by finding videos. I even thought of a stage, I'm going to create the videos because no one's doing this. And I think when chatbot came out in the year that I started, and then how I would educate myself, like a lot of these people are busy. They're not going to, let's say you're working in a company, they don't always have the time to teach you what is blockchain, what is crypto. Like, so I used an AI as a teacher. So I would ask it questions. I would say, cool, I have this term, liquidity. Yeah. I don't understand what is liquidity, or what is a layer 1, or what is a layer 0 blockchain? Why is there substrate chain? So basically that would be like, if you have these things popping up in your head, write them down, whatever, go to chatbot, be like, cool, can you explain this to me? And then have the chatbot teach you. So if you can't find something online, I'm pretty sure a chatbot's going to help you. So
I'm pretty sure about one thing is like, you're curious and you strive for success. So you will find a way to know that. And
yes, exactly. Passion.
Nowadays, we have all the tools to know everything, right?
Yes, today it's so much easier as well. Yeah. And I'm like, I've been struggling for 3 years and now everything is there on a silver platter. Like,
so if people want to see your work because just in one sentence, can you resume your work, like what you do, like in marketing in Web 0.3, like in cryptocurrency, right? Like Bitcoin, Ethereum, things like that.
Yeah, not necessarily in that industries. Like those are blockchains. So we have our own. When I started, I worked with a company that did a very specific thing in crypto that I don't even think I can explain right now because it's going to be complicated. But
yeah, just keep
they're
it
basically
simple, right?
trying to put your identity online. So you don't need a passport.
Yeah.
So eventually we're not going to need physical papers. Like we're all going digital. So the company was working on that. But the new company I'm at is working on like Apple or Microsoft, but we're doing that for crypto and decentralization.
And if people want to see your work or what you do, can you leave a Twitter or something?
Yes, so you can follow me on Monique Galaxy on Twitter, and then the company I work for is called BlockX, and they also have a Twitter account which is blocks_tech. So
okay. Gonna leave the links under the video if you want to see the Monique's work.
And I do a lot of Amazon there, and my main goal also for people thinking now, oh, it's too technical, I'm not going to go watch that. I mean, I get it. I was the same. But what I try to do, what makes my marketing different is that I'm trying to simplify the language of crypto. So when people come there, they're not like, what is this? So instead of reading, come download our decentralized desktop app, no, I'm going to say, download the app, it will save you money. So I'm trying to change the language so people like anyone in the world can participate and understand what I'm doing. It's a process. Give me time. It's a new product. I started 2 months ago. So for me, I still need to learn. I'm learning all the technical aspects. Yeah. And then I'm trying to break it down into simplified English.
That's nice.
It takes some time.
The best way to learn is to teach. And basically that's what you do.
That's what I need to. I don't market. I don't sell. I teach. Yeah. So even with my company and the products, like, I'm going to tell you what we have, but I'm going to tell you why you need it and what you need and why we're doing it. Yeah. So it's like that golden circle. Now I'm giving so much marketing advice, but you get the, I think it's Simon Sinek's golden circle, which is what, how, and why. And people always go with what they have and then how they have it and then maybe why they have it. No, you should go with why you have it, then what you have, then how you have it and then what you have. So it's like saying you struggle with, let's think, you struggle with slow AI. You need to use it for your work because every day you only have 2 hours to do it. Download AI Genesis today. So you first saying the problem, why you need it, and then you give them the product. And this is the mistake people make. Like they always want to just sell and market. No, you need to educate. You need to tell people why they need things. So this is a very critical point in the way I market. And also, again, adapting normal marketing life to Web3 marketing. It's not that difficult. You just need to understand the technology and adapt it to marketing strategies.
Okay. Cool. A lot of there is so much stuff for you.
I can talk for hours.
There is so much stuff coming for you for the next years. I want to ask you, like, how do you see yourself in the future, or where? Are they still here in Vietnam? Or you want to keep traveling in Asia? Want to go America, USA?
I want to try and do the 5-year Thai visa. I want to stay around Asia because
Thailand, right?
Yeah. I want to stay around Asia because the crypto industry in Asia is very good. There's a lot of events happening. Once my company has launched all their products in the next month, I will be attending more events for them as well. So it's more beneficial for me to stay around Asia. But I'm not sure if, for now it's Da Nang. I haven't really figured out the rest, which is very unlike me as well. I always have a goal, I always have a thing. But for the first time in my life, I've achieved it. I have my online career. I'm living at the beach.
Wow.
So now I'm like, no, what now? I don't know. So I'm kind of just enjoying life right now because this is a 3-year journey that took me to this day. Like,
I think it's really...
And I need to enjoy life, so...
Exactly. It's, you know what? It's like, let's say you're people with a lot of goals, but like you have so many goals that you forget to, at the end, why? At the end, why? You just want to enjoy life. And enjoy life is right now inside yourself. And I think there is only few people who have the consciousness to take time every morning just to say, open the eyes and say, I'm alive.
It's hard.
I can breathe. And that's the basic things on life who make, it's gonna make you happy. If you keep, like, it's like exercising. You have to tell yourself every day, like, you're lucky to be alive. And that's, like, to be here in Da Nang, honestly, when I wake up, I always go, the first things I do when I open my eyes now, and I'm proud of that because I use my life to getting up, go on computer, phone, and now I live like 1 minute from the beach, right? So I wake up, going to the beach with a motorbike, and I sit down and before stretching, and I'm like, maybe I will get tired of that, but right now I'm like, I'm so lucky to be here right now with all this, all this abundance, the food, the weather, the ocean, the people, mindful people, and that's amazing. Like, do you have any tips for people who want to move here in Vietnam in general? Like, how they should behave with people, or any tips? It could be like, be patient, I don't know.
Well, I think tip number 1 is if you want to pay local prices, learn the language, because if you're a foreigner, they will charge you more. It's a very honest tip.
Yeah.
But if you can speak Vietnamese and you're like, "Không tiền nhiều," meaning it's too much money. What are you talking about? So once you start learning their ways, you can be more part of them. So, I mean, even if you're a foreigner and you're paying what they are charging you, that's okay. It's still cheaper for you, and they need the money as well. I get that from tourism. But if you're here for a long run, like you're staying here for a while, I would say it will be very beneficial to learn the language.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that point.
Yeah, I helped my mom a lot when she came, and she was like, "Oh, I don't know how I would do this without you." And I'm like, "Yeah," because they would charge her double than what they would charge me. And I'm like, "No, what are you doing?"
Yeah.
So learn the language and be open-minded. Be ready for weird stuff, like seeing weird stuff. Just embrace it, enjoy it, laugh about it. Yeah.
What's the weirdest stuff happened to you in Vietnam?
I think it was in Hanoi. It was the worst because it's very, very cultural there. I think Da Nang has adapted a lot to the expat community, especially where we live in the area. But I think in Hanoi, it's you still get a lot of places, areas in Hanoi that's super traditional. They would have the dogs on the sticks and you just have to be like, I did not see that. So yeah, I think there's just odd stuff. Like everything you hear online is pretty much true.
Okay.
And just be vigilant. And yeah, I think I have to add this in the end. I think the worst for me was, like I said in the beginning, I didn't Google Vietnam. I just came because I had a friend and an opportunity in COVID.
Yeah.
And then you take it. Like that's a difficult opportunity to get. So, but when I came out of quarantine and we go to Beer Street and Old Quarter in Hanoi, they take me to my first toilet outside of Vietnam, like being out in the country for the also my first time international. I've never left Cape Town. And it's a long drop. The toilet, I had to squat. And I was like, maybe I should have Googled Vietnam. That was the only thing for me. I was like, is there normal toilets here? Like, or is it just the hotel that had a nice toilet? Because I don't know now.
Yeah.
So that's the moment where I was like, maybe I should have Googled Vietnam.
Yeah, stuff could be quite
That's kind
different.
of a desperate life, wanting to get out of your country. You just don't Google, just say yes and you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, be spontaneous, be ready for anything, embrace it. There's a lot of beauty between the madness, 100%.
Yeah.
Like, you will find it. And I think a lot of people do, because they come here and they're like, oh no, I'm only here for 1 week. And then when you see again, they want to stay here for, I know a couple now that that's traveled here for 3 months, and they just canceled their entire year to Europe
To stay here?
to stay here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's I
They're in
understand.
Thailand at the moment, but they're coming back to Vietnam.
I understand 100%. Is it? I know them, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
okay,
think
okay.
you do. They are co-workers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
we were in the office.
I know who you're talking about. Okay, thank you very much for sharing all these points. It's gonna be
Pleasure.
useful 100%.
Nice to be
That's
here.
been so real. That's been so good. Thank you very much, Monique.
Thanks for
Shaking
having
hands.
me.
Thank you very much for sharing. And
Thanks.
don't forget, guys, you could see the work of Monique on Twitter, and we're gonna leave the links below the video. And it could be a really she will enjoy that if you're going there and see what she do. And if you're interested into this Web3 and crypto area, maybe you could understand more with Monique. Thanks to Monique. Thank you very much for sharing.
Pleasure.
And
Thanks for having
happy
me.
to see you in the next one. Bye bye.
Thanks. Bye.